It's the early 2000s, and this hopeful girl group are eagerly training for their debut. All they need is a catchy hit song to win over the public, and lucky for them, a famous producer was on their side, willing to provide them with such. But little did they know, this came with a hefty price. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Midnight Theories, and if you're new here, welcome to Midnight Theories. Today, I cover the traumatizing story of a disbanded girl group who gave up their dream after experiencing every idol's worst nightmare. This story was first brought to light through a program called Brave Reporters. From huge political scandals to mysterious cases that are not well known to the public, the show tells the hidden truths behind various cases by reporters from diverse backgrounds. On episode 104, titled Naughty Women, a blind item was submitted to Brave Reporters with the headline, The Worst Girl Group Producer. For those of you who are not familiar with blind items, it is essentially a news story, typically in gossip columns, in which the details of the matter are reported while the identities of the people involved remain anonymous. This girl group was a promising trio who wanted to achieve success as idols. Before their debut, the girls had a small fan base as one of the members was a former beauty pageant contestant and excelled in singing and dancing. Despite the fact the group was under a smaller company than their competitors, their CEO had a few tricks up their sleeves and called in a favor. A call to a famous female producer who led various groups to success was informed that they needed a debut song that would attract the public. The producer agreed to work with the group and immediately gained their trust by praising their skills and buying them meals. A successful debut followed, along with photo shoots, events, and broadcasting appearances, until suddenly one day, the group disappeared ahead of an important event. In order to promote their debut single, the girls were expected to make the rounds and appear on a broadcast. On this day, their CEO attended the recording studio to support the girls, but neither the group nor the manager arrived. Obtaining these television slots is difficult, especially for a small group of rookies, and rumors such as these quickly spread in the industry of this unprofessional behavior. As precious time was passing, the broadcasting staff grew anxious and continued to ask the CEO about their arrival time. Feeling the pressure by the production staff, the CEO angrily called the manager numerous times, but his calls went unanswered. As the staff continued to push for a second time, the CEO felt that it was best to lie and said the group were involved in an accident. Anger soon turned into concern, and days would pass without a response from the girls or their manager. This led their company to cancel several schedules and events, and rumors started to spread about the girl group, causing the company to lose all credibility. After days passed with no contact, the CEO received a phone call from one of the members. The CEO described her voice to be weak and on the verge of death. The idol had asked the CEO to come get them and gave him their location. It was impossible for the CEO to believe his eyes when he arrived at the location to pick up the girls and saw how drastically different they looked. Having been exposed to the harsh conditions they faced in those days, the girls appeared weak and reduced to bones and had an unpleasant odor. On the day of the broadcast, the producer invited the girl group over to her house to congratulate them on their successful debut. The group's manager drove the girls to the producer's home and were welcomed in by the producer. Once entering the home, the producer asked the girl's manager to team up with her and held a baseball bat to her chest. She said she would raise his position from manager if he stayed silent about what was going to happen next, and he agreed. The producer then stood in front of the girl group and threatened the members to sign a contract with a different company. As a result of refusing to sign the contract, the producer cursed at them and beat the girls with a bat. Even after the beating, the members still refused to sign, so the producer locked them in a room and took away their cell phones, cutting them from all contact with the outside world. This plan was allegedly orchestrated by the producer's boyfriend, who owned his own company and grew an interest in the girl group. Fearing that her punishment would grow even harsher for holding the girls hostage any longer, the producer released the girls. The members were immediately freed from their imprisonment and handed back their cell phones, immediately calling their CEO to save them from this nightmare. It was said that the producer was a bad woman who would often blackmail her clients into dating her. They would meet at her house under the guise of working on a song together. However, there was more than music making that happened. Allegedly, there was an active singer/actor who was caught in one of her traps. After days of captivity, the members were finally freed from their imprisonment and was allowed to call their CEO. In the aftermath of the traumatizing experience, they explained to the CEO that they would be leaving the entertainment industry and retiring as idols. Because this was a blind item, the identities of everyone involved were kept hidden for years. However, this did not stop internet sleuths from trying to piece together this mystery. Many girl groups were thrown out there, such as Milk and Love, but were immediately ruled out as little information that was given did not align with either group's timeline or career. They then came across a group that almost seemed to check every box. With what little information was given, Entertainment, who made stars such as Harisu. On March 30th, 2005, this trio released their debut single album, Colors of Temptation, featuring the single It's Alright Ambitious. Despite being its only a month experience in the entertainment world, the group were active on various music programs, radio broadcasts, had multiple CF deals, and had overseas activities in China lined up. The girl group were certainly on a hot streak, but suddenly they disappeared from the industry. Months later, they presumably disbanded the same year due to inactivity. But once again, I'd like to repeat that this is just a theory of who the mysterious girl group was. The price of fame is shockingly and unfortunately accompanied by certain dangers, and some K-pop idols have come across such fate. Upon hearing this tragic story, netizens had a major issue with this crime never being reported to authorities, and feared that this famous producer could still be working in the industry to this day. Because this story was revealed as a blind item, some questioned the validity of the story, but I'll leave that up to you to decide. While this is just one of the terrifying stories to come out, there are many other idols that have experienced the same terror and have spoken very publicly about their own attempted and successful kidnappings. I made a whole video on the subject, so if you would like to hear their stories, you can watch the video linked in my description or click on it at the end of this video. And with that being said, thank you for watching and enjoy your stay.